Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Friday. I hope everybody's enjoying their day and being safe. I really appreciate everybody getting involved and being on this particular platform and completing these assignments. I hope that you know, I hope it's just a nice change of pace. I know for me, surfing online and being on different social media platforms and everything is getting kind of boring lately. I'm taking notice a lot of y'all are working and or doing projects around your house, and I think it's awesome. So I want to keep this simple today. All right. The majority of us, we got together. Let me change this here real quick. We uh, we focused on this. Estimate the amount of breaks and blocks needed to complete a given task. A lot of people, when I mean a lot of people have taken the time to um, complete this worksheet. So I'm going to talk to administration and talk to the people up top to make sure that I can, even though this is a unique time, get these grades into the computer for you, and or at least have them waiting to go. Hopefully, when we get back or whenever the governor decides what we're going to do. So the next one we're going to start working on is estimate the cost, the amount of concrete needed to complete a given task. All right. So again, we're talking about why would we have to figure out the amount of concrete needed. Why would we have to even do that estimation? Because we're carpenters. So, as we discussed in the blocks lesson, we would have to order concrete in order to pour our footings for our foundation walls. Um, as a home builder, you might decide that you can save money by doing the concrete yourself. Or if you're estimating a home build, you know, you're going to need to know how many square yards of concrete are needed to either order the concrete or to check, say, for example, a concrete guy's or a mason's pricing when he gives it to you if you were to become a home builder or a foreman. All right. So today, it's a little unique and a little different. Before we can get in actually talking about the calculation of concrete, all right, concrete is calculated in decimal feet. All right. So, in other words, if we had a 10-foot slab by 10 foot by 4 inches, so 10 foot wide by 10 foot long by 4 inches thick, we need to know how to quickly enter that 4 inch measurement into our calculator. But if you put four into a standard calculator, it's going to read that measurement as feet, not as inches. All right. So I got a couple different um, examples over here to the left, and I'm going to break down a worksheet as well. All right. So I just want to quickly go over how to calculate or how to convert some of these numbers that we have in the decimal feet. All right. So we're going to look over here at this first example. All right. 3 feet and 1/16 of an inch. We could easily put 3 feet in a calculator, but this 1 and 1/16 number, we can't just put that in normal. So a lot of you first and second session students, we started to get involved in converting things into decimal form. So 1 and 1/16 of an inch, converted into decimal form. So what I want to do is I'm going to just quickly go over how to do these four equations on the right, the most easiest way that I know how. All right. And we're going to practice for this lesson on how to convert these measurements into what we call decimal feet. All right. A standard calculator, and when we count or when we count money or um, whatever, we're always dealing in increments of 10. All right. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then it starts again 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So, all numbers are in increments of 10 in measurement, especially within the foot. We're dealing in increments of 12. There's 12 inches in a foot. So we need to be able to convert that measurement into a number that the calculator understands. All right. So it's actually very simple, and I'm going to show you how to do this. And then we're going to practice on a worksheet. I got my little notepad out here. I got my calculator here. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that 3 foot measurement that's right here. right? And we're just going to carry that right down. We're just going to write 3. All right. Now, we all know that in construction, we would go 3 and 1 single apostrophe for feet. But in decimal feet, there's no apostrophe in a standard calculator. I'm not talking one of your scientific calculators that you use, um, in geometry class or in school. I'm talking about a standard $3 calculator that we would use. You would buy at the dollar store, for example, or your standard calculator that you would have on your phone. So instead of putting an apostrophe, we're going to put, I guess a decimal point there, 3 point. All right. So that tells the calculator that it's 3 feet. That makes sense. All right. We're converting this number into decimal feet. So right here, it says 3 feet. We're always going to bring the whole foot number down. So for this problem number 5, it's 3 and then a decimal. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this number now and turn that into decimal feet. All right. Or, decimal form, but in decimal feet form, so that the whole measurement's in decimal feet. All right. So it's very simple. We're going to work in a clockwise motion around this number, starting with the top of the fraction. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 1, right? And we're going to divide it by 16, which is our denominator. We're going to hit enter. All right. So that's what that reads in decimal form. We've done that in multiple sessions. I've showed you how to convert fractions into decimal form. So what we're going to do now, though, that's a little unique, is we're going to add our final number, 1. All right, and we're going to hit equals. All right, so now we know that that would be in decimal form, not the 3 feet part, but the 1 and 1/16 of an inch. This is how it would look in decimal form. All right, now we're looking for decimal feet. Right now, this number is in decimal inches. All right, so we're simply just going to take this number, right, and we're going to divide it by 12. There's 12 inches in a foot. All right, we're going to hit enter. All right, so that's our new number. All right, so it becomes 3.088541666, and we'll just put a 7 on here. And then we're going to put our apostrophe, not our inches, our apostrophe after that. And the solution for problem number 1 would be 3.08854166667 decimal feet. Right now, you're like, oh, that's a big number. It is what it is. This is going to help you not only learn how to calculate the amount of concrete needed for a project easily, all right, but it's also going to help you with complicated rafter calculations, which we're going to get into later in your junior and your senior year. All right, so I skipped that one. So this is the answer right here for problem number 5. So we'll do this one here real quickly again. I'll go through the process multiple times so you can see. Clear my calculator out here. Come back over here to my notepad. All right, so we're going to write 7 and our decimal. All right, so what that is that's 7 feet. We took that first whole feet number and we moved it over. All right, and we're going to work in a clockwise motion around this. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go, I'll show you, well, I can't show you because my picture's there. All right, so what I'll do is, can I move this over? I can. There you go. All right. Oh, bring this back up. Nope, I don't want that. I want this. I want this. Sorry, guys and girls. So what we're going to do is we're going to move in a clockwise motion. All right, so it's going to be 3 right here, the numerator, divided by 8, which is our denominator. All right, so 3/8 is 0.375 inches, all right, in decimal form. And we're going to add 8, all right? So that what that would be in this part of the measurement right here would be, in decimal form, would be 8.375. And then we're simply going to take that number again, and we're going to divide it by 12. We're going to hit equals, all right? Come back over here to our answer pad, and we got 7.697991666. We'll do 3 6s and a 7. All right, and we're going to add feet. Oh, I keep on adding inches. Feet. All right. Counterclockwise motion. This is now this measurement right here. This is the number it is in decimal feet form. All right. Now it sounds boring. It sounds basic. It's like something that you might not want to do, but this is necessary in order to do extreme rafter calculations, stair calculations, double checking your math, and also, how can I explain it? Well, to estimate the amount of concrete needed for a project. All right. So we'll do this one again. So we got 6 feet, 7 1/8 of an inch. So we're going to bring the 6 over first because that's our whole feet number and put a decimal there. All right. Right over here, you can see here is the 7 1/8 of an inch. We're going to move in a clockwise motion. Okay, so I'll clear my calculator out. All right, and I'm going to do 1 divided by 8 equals 0.125. That's what an eighth of an inch looks like in decimal form. All right, we're going to add our inch measurement, which is 7.125. So that's what it looks like in inch form, or in measure, inch form, in inches, in decimal form, I should say. We're going to divide that number by 12. All right, and we got 0.59375. Nice round, even number. All right, so I'm going to double check that again because that doesn't look right to me. All right, so we're going to do 1 divided by 8 equals 0.125 plus 7 equals 7.125 divided by 12, because there's 12 inches in a foot, equals 0.59375. Nice round. We don't have to add a whole bunch of numbers, so we're essentially just going to put here in our calculator, or in our final entry box, 0.59375 feet. All right, one more to go. All right, 5 foot 9.5 inches. All right, so we're going to bring the whole number over here and put a decimal point there. All right, we're going to take 9.5 inches. This should be pretty easy for anybody. All right, so we know in decimal form. So I'm going to still do the equation, but we should know that that equals 9.50. All right, so we'll do 1, which is the numerator, divided by 2 equals 0.5 plus the whole inch number, which is 9, equals 9.5. We're going to divide that by 12 because there's 12 inches in a foot. That equals 7. We got a big number again. So we're going to come back over here to where we put our answer and put 791666. We'll just do 7. All right, carry that over. Boom. You can round that number up if you want to, as far as I'm concerned. All right. It's better to be accurate. I wouldn't suggest typing that whole thing in there. It'd be like 66667, for example. All right. So it's important to understand that that's how decimal feet conversions work. All right. So one final example that I can use is say that we have 6 inches. Okay. So say our measurement, say we don't have any of these whole feet numbers and any of these fractions. All right. And we want to convert 6 inches into decimal feet. All right. Now, that doesn't make sense because 6 inches isn't a whole foot number, but we still got to be able to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 6 inches. We'll put equals here. We got to convert that into decimal feet. So we're going to take 6, and we're going to divide it by 12. Clear. 6 divided by 12 equals. All right. See how it equals 0.5? All right. 0.5. And we would actually write, it's going to look a little weird, feet. All right. 6 inches is half of a foot. It's just something I wanted to put in your mind so you can connect that to what decimal feet is. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to take our measurements and convert them into a number that the calculator can understand. All right. So I'm going to give you a little practice worksheet to do on Canvas. This squirrel, man. I'm going to have to get rid of this squirrel. So it's super important you know how to do this. All right. You might not think it is, but you could use it in everyday construction. All right. So I'll give you a practice sheet. I'll give you a little learning guide on paper too, in case you want to see some examples. I really appreciate everybody doing the work. You're really helping North Monco look really good during this unique time. And I won't be assigning anything over the weekend. I want everybody to be safe and enjoy themselves. Distance yourself from people. Try not to go out and enjoy your family. Do something constructive. I hope all is well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.